Tesla smashed it this week, up 5%. TSLY also smashed it right behind the underlying Tesla of 5.09%. So again, it's no surprise that my fund is also up, but it's only up 2.1%. And that is because my covered call was too close to the current price or to my synthetic strike price, and it blew through that on Monday and it never came back. So I kind of capped my gains a bit too early. So we'll go into all of those kind of results, how much money I made, dividends, all that good stuff. And then we'll also look at the technical analysis of Tesla so we can see where we think Tesla's going to move for the following week. So if you like the sound of that, all I ask for is that you smash that like button and don't forget to subscribe. So if we have a look at where we are, if we look at the projected yield, we're at 76% projected yield. So I'm projected to make $22,885 in dividends. I've made so far, as of Friday this week, $4,452. And for those who remember last week's video, we had a call where my estimated dividend yield was $359. And you'll see that we ended up getting $485, which is absolutely fantastic. So, and that is a 1.92% return on capital. So we'll go into that firstly, and then we'll look at where we are for this week. So again, we had the 195 call, which I've put over here. So here's the 195 call, and you can see here what happened throughout the week. It blew through that kind of strike price. We'll drop down into the pivot level, and then continued rising throughout that whole time, and then closed at 202.64. So what that means is that I bought back the covered call on the Thursday. I bought it back for a loss of $257. But if we have a look at the synthetic, I had a 192.50 synthetic, and because I obviously had a capped gains at 195, we then managed to close out of the synthetic for a capital appreciation of $408. So when you take that and you take into account the actual loss, take the sum of that is $485, which is what I got paid. So I did get paid slightly more than the 300 and wherever it is now, $359. So just over $100 more, which is absolutely great. But in hindsight, I should have put my covered call a bit higher so I could cap more of that potential upside. So, we are where we are, 485, still a pretty decent amount when you compare it over the last 10 weeks. And what I did on the Friday is that because I closed out the synthetic, I re-established the synthetic at 202.50. With Tesla trading at 202.64. So I did it just before market close, a couple of hours before market close. So you can see, I'm up $14 on the overall position as it currently stands. And then I opened the 207.50 call for $281 as an estimated, which is one of the lowest. And that's only because of the strike prices that I had available to me. That's as high as I could go to capture some of that upside. So again, if we have a look at what that looks like on a chart, you can see again, we hit the weekly pivot. The weekly pivot is below the current price of what was that? That was basically $200. And then we've got a covered call strike here of 207.50. So with Tesla closing at 202, we've got some good room for potential upside here. So ideally what we really want to see is Tesla creeping up over here, not too fast, so then we can suck up all of that $200 odd in terms of covered call premium, and then hopefully roll that call into next week, and then collect some more gains off the back of it. So that's the kind of plan at the moment. What we can see here is that we do have that, uptrend over there, and then we also have this kind of ascending triangle potential breakout here, which again, it could break out into this pivot level, which is kind of coincided to this bottom line to shoot back up. So again, hopefully Tesla, it's nearly filled the majority of the gap. The high range of that gap is sitting at my 207.50, which is kind of where my head was at in terms of this area forming some sort of resistance. at this point. So that's kind of where we're looking at from a technical. So we'll leave that on there. We'll save that so we can see how that looks when we look at next week's chart. And again, like I said, we're up overall on the fund, which is good. We've got some capital appreciation, and we are 4.4k of dividends, which I've taken out of the account, which is, if you're not reinvesting dividends, is 21% down against the initial capital of 25-30. But if we are reinvesting those dividends in there, we're down 14% on this overall position. So, like I said, this for me is all about generating income to get, 22k, which is absolutely fantastic. So again, I'm using the money, pay for bills, but I am working as well at the same time. So again, I'm using it just to fund the kind of lifestyle. I could put it right back in, but again, this experiment is all about trying to take the money out and try to match what TSLY give you as a fund. So again, I really hope you've enjoyed this video. This one's going to be short and sweet, and this is exactly what we're trying to do. We're trying to build income, and if you want to learn how to do this, again, you can join my coaching program where I go through this and trading options in general, as well as click the first link inside the description, because it takes you to the full playlist so you can see how this was created right from the beginning. So I really hope you've enjoyed the time, and make sure you smash that like button, and I shall see you guys in the next video.